Good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday, October 23rd of 2022. KC3QPJ here, Aaron, and good to see you all back watching the videos again. Just wanted to do a quick follow-up video, and believe me, this is going to be quick, short, sweet, and to the point. Going to have a little bit of trouble with the camera focus on the other camera, but we're going to go through this real quick. I was finally able to, before I get too far into it, I just wanted to say thank you for all my new subscribers. I really do appreciate you all the interest in the hobby, and I'm hoping that you guys are subscribing, liking, and sharing to people that you think might have interest in the hobby of ham radio or amateur radio if we really want to be spot on point with what we're talking about here. But thanks again, and I do appreciate it, and keep in mind, like I've said, several times before, I am a nonprofit YouTube channel. All the reviews done here are done with my own money, and I try to do the best I can with what my budget will allow to help you guys out. Now, a lot of people might be asking, why did you do a review on a radio that was out for 6-7 years already? I guess it's to shed some light on the quality of different radios just based on what you pay for them. And mind you, I'm still very budget minded when it comes to purchasing radios, because I don't want to break the bank. I still have all the remodeling that I got to get done, as you guys can see in the background. So I'm doing this type of thing for the budget minded ham and the new ham radio operators that are getting into the hobby. So that being said, we'll go ahead and do this quick follow-up video. I was having programming issues on the last video and couldn't figure out why that chirp wouldn't work with it since it was listed on there. So what you would need to do is to be able to program this radio properly would be to go into your Google search bar or whatever search engine that you use, whether it be Mozilla, Microsoft Outlook, whatever, type in TYT downloads. Then you can find the software on that site, and when you come up to the TYT downloads, it might be the first or second link down on your search where it'll say tyt.888. something. Okay, kind of weird address. I don't know what the 888 indicates, but it's a legitimate link. You're not going to catch any viruses. My problem was when I tried to do this throughout the week, I was not able to access the website because Mr. Internet provider decided that they were going to block some overseas websites that I couldn't get access to. So in turn, I had to have a fellow friend of mine, and shout out to Doug, who's not a ham radio operator but a computer whiz. Doug, I appreciate your help with the last issue that I was having with my software. So helped out, did a really good fine job, and hopefully I'm going to send you this link and you'll watch the first 5 minutes of this video. Anyway, that being said, the issue is solved. The software that you need to use to program this radio properly is going to be the software from TYT website. It is the 2019 version of the software. It'll say 2019. The software does come in English and it comes in Chinese. But if you want to program your channel names properly, if you want a name as opposed to the frequency, you will need that software. And just to show that it actually did work, let's go ahead and switch our camera angles here. This is going to take a minute to focus. I'm going to have to zoom this in pretty far, guys, just to make sure that we can get this to zoom and focus. So let's see if we can get it to focus first. I know moving around ain't going to help, but cheap camera goes a long way. There's my call sign and everything, and there we go. There's my my channel names, and I've only programmed in 2 just to see if the software will work, but obviously it does work. And then the bottom frequency there is just a simplex channel. I haven't programmed anything else into it, but when I'm using the channel selector, you can see it, the 2 channels that I have programmed in there. The names really come up. Now, this might not be an important feature for some of you, but for me, I like the options of having that so I know exactly which repeater I'm on. That way, if somebody asks me, what the frequency is or what have you, I can just go in there and I can change it manually back to frequency, and it'll show what the frequency is. Or I can tell that person, hey, look it up on repeater book, and it can tell you where it is. So I have I'm the way I'm going to program this radio is by the zone that I live in. Basically, whatever repeaters are immediately available to me in my area, which is anywhere from 5 to 25 miles away. And this radio is hitting repeaters 25 miles away from my front porch. Now, another good thing, like I was trying to explain before, I wanted to see how much better quality a radio can be if you just don't buy a Baofeng. Well, obviously, this is cheap. It is made by Chinese, but they do have quality control for these radios. They even included it, quality control inspection tab inside the box for it. Now, this is showing, I believe it was a 1300 milliamp. Let's see what I really need to get a new pair of glasses. Okay, 1600 milliamp hour battery. Okay. I didn't charge this from day one until last night. Last night was the first time I charged this radio since I purchased it about a little under a week ago. The battery lasted a long time, and yesterday I was listening to the Frederick Amateur Radio Club along with some other amateur radio operators using the local repeater, the FDK repeater, 14673. They were hosting emergency communications and backup communications for a local bike race. They were on and off that repeater all day long. This was on all day long, monitoring at almost full volume. And after the race was over, it lasted about another 2 hours before I had to put the radio on the charger. Now, mind you, that's with listening, a little bit of transmission before the race, the day before the race. I think overall transmission time so far on this radio, 20 minutes, but 9 hours of constant power going to the speaker. I was pretty impressed for what it is. So this will definitely last you a full day of continuous use. Probably my guess would be about 4 hours tops of transmission time. But who really uses radios for 4 hours on end? Now, the battery also has model number on the battery, so that if you need a replacement, you can type in the model number of the battery online and get yourself a replacement. Also, last couple things real quick. The filtering and the discrimination on this radio is amazing. The audio output from this radio is clean. It is spectrally clean and has the FCC certification to back that up. Unlike some of the other radios, when I transmitted on this radio, it didn't interfere with my microphone here. It didn't shut it down. And I think that's a testament to the abri that I was testing and my audio cut out because it interfered with the microphone. That is a spectrally impure radio. So aside from that, guys, you cannot go wrong with the purchase of this radio. It is tri-band. That would be the 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and 1 1/4 meter bands. So you're 136 to 174, 220 to 227, and 400 to 520 megahertz coverage on this radio. The antenna, the aftermarket antenna that was supplied for the radio, does an amazing job. No complaints, hands down. Best off-brand name that I've heard. Now, mind you, I've seen this antenna before, and I can't remember how I got it. And I believe it was through a supplier when I bought my my Anytone 878 handheld radio, which is still a phenomenal radio. But it's from a company called Shengda, Shengda, Shengda. So if you guys ever see that online, let me know, because I can't find that company anywhere. I think they just supply the antennas, basically third party for the manufacturers to give a better antenna upgrade for that radio. Also keep in mind, and like the last video review I was showing you, these antennas are not SMA female antenna. They are SMA male antennas. So these antennas are not compatible with your Baofeng, because normally, let's see if that'll focus. I don't think it will. Let's see. There it goes a little bit. All right, but as you can see, there's a pin inside there. Okay, so with that pin being in there, you know, that makes that an SMA male. I mean, you could take a Baofeng antenna and attach it to this antenna. So just be mindful. There was only 2 manufacturers that I can find for a replacement antenna for this radio, so you don't have to do that antenna swap. One of the manufacturers was Diamond, and the other one is Comet. Now, I got this antenna for free, and I think it's probably about a $20 value maybe, but it's still better than having to switch antennas out, and the receive on it's pretty generous for what it is, being an off-brand. I would say if you get the model that has that antenna in there, don't bother purchasing that Diamond or that Comet antenna, the SMA male Comet antennas. They're $45, so then you're blowing your budget. Now, if you want that quality, I mean, by all means, whatever makes you happy. But, you know, like I said, it's not necessary. That antenna functions just fine. It works really well for that radio. You'll get solid performance out of the radio, better filtering, better discrimination, and I'm just really happy, actually, that I purchased that radio. Much better than all the other Baofengs I have. Now, as far as the channel programming, let's keep that in mind. It still is only 128 channels. A little bit of a step backwards, but not really. I mean, how often are you going to use all 128 channels? And then with the radio that, like this one, that's very easy to program on the fly, you can stay in VFO mode and hit repeaters and keep your channels saved. Now, the one Baofeng that I had, the TP8R, that's 999 channels. But you know what? I like the tri-band display. It might not have the sync feature on there, but it does have dual band receive on the TH-350. It's a little slow. That's one complaint that I have. Like if you're not transmitting on a certain band, but you're listening, it takes a second if you had transmitted for it to cancel out that part of it and switch to the next band, and it does it automatically. So that being said, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, share. Obviously everything I do is unscripted. It's how can I say, unsponsored. Don't make money off of it. But in closing, you know, if you guys ever want me to do any kind of review for any radio equipment, I will try to do what I can with whatever my budget allows. Or if you would like to send me the equipment, please feel free to contact me at qualitysoundsandmore@gmail.com. That's my email address, and I'll leave it on the comments below on my item description, so that way if you'd like to reach out, send me your equipment. I'll pay for the shipping, and I'll pay to ship it back to you, so that way it keeps the cost low, and I make sure that I don't abuse your equipment. All my equipment I keep in really good shape. I don't keep the boxes in good shape, though. I think I have those scattered around a little bit, but your box will be safe with me. I will make sure that. So if you guys ever want to send me equipment, throw out a review on it, you just let me know, and maybe we could share something with someone else that they don't know about and bring more light to the hobby, and we can do that with your help. That being said, 7-3, this is KC3QPJ. I'll be signing off. Y'all have a good weekend, and good to see you again.